Good morning, everyone. Well, trading range. Let's see an hourly chart. Yesterday we spoke about it was down here, and will it go sideways and break lower and come back up? And it went all the way back up. And you can see it hit, well, not quite the top, but close enough for government work and starting to roll back over. So now there's a void. And you say, well, what the hell's a void? Some of you that are new, right? Well, first of all, this started with what we call an upside shakeout at the perfect location. Charts. Thank you, Dan. I don't know why I forget that. I don't know. Sometimes I just like talking to myself, I guess. Sorry. All right. So this is what I was talking to myself about. The trading range on the hourly, the move up and the void. Here's the upside shakeout that occurred. And let me get my little pencil out here. And so what's an upside shakeout? Well, it's a little sideways move. For instance, they can happen on a trending move, but this was a momentum move. There was a little stall. So there's a little shelf of support right here where this is coming down to. These overlapping opens and closes is going to create a base in a smaller time frame, which I'll show you on a smaller time frame. So as it came up, went sideways, breakout, looks great. You better be nimble for that kind of a breakout because there's a high right there, and maybe it would have went up there, which for day traders, look, this is an hourly chart. If you're trading off of the 5, or some people trading off of 2 minutes, 30-second charts or whatever, it's a tradable intraday move. However, it fell and it came back down. And this is pretty much textbook, actually, in the course, showing the upside shakeout, and then it comes down to this consolidation and it bases there. And traders bought the dip right at that support. We're looking to the left, and then I guess this was some news there, probably. And it takes out the highs, and now it's broken. So we've got this upside shakeout. It's got a little sideways thing there, and now it's breaking down, and we'll see if it holds at this little area. And so on YouTube, what I called it, possible bear sandwich coming. You're saying, well, Greg, you hungry already? Well, bear sandwich is a phenomenon, a pattern, not so much a phenomenon, something Dan coined probably over 20 years ago. And so what that is, and it's not a textbook bear sandwich because this is a topping tail bar, but this is, pretty much full-bodied green bar. And what we would see is a red bar over here. And that would be really ideal as far as the bigger picture, of this moving down. It is at support here. It had its stabilization. The weekly, is trending down. It did have this big move. And so it would make sense, again, aligned with everything else we talked about this week and last week, transports breaking down, yield curves, inflation, and so on, for this potentially to occur. And the structure of what we see here, intraday, higher timeframes are aligned with that potential for that to occur. And now we'll just see if this 5-minute continues to find sellers on the rallies, and if it begins to break down, or kind of turn around. So that's what we do every day, and we'll see what happens. So let's just take a look at this here, what I was telling you. Lining up this. So it's not so much of a base as a pivot, but you can see this consolidation there. And so this is one of, the concepts that we have, is that recognizing in a higher time frame where there will be some support level in a smaller time frame. And we recognize that by observing that there's a cluster of opening prices and closing prices together. So there was a period of backing and filling here, which created this little congestion there. So as prices come down into that area, we'll see if buyers step up in this pivot and, just keeps going, or what. All right. So SPY, more of what we would call a bull sandwich. Right? Why bull sandwich? Because the green bar is in the middle. The answer is the meat's in the middle. I'm going to get to it, Jake. I have to look at SPY. And so where is that? 442 and change at the top of the bar. That's obviously still positive, and we'll see, does it begin to roll down. In SPX, I think this is a no-brainer. Let me just check the quote again. 23. $55 by 65, 43.50. I think it's a no-brainer. And a little closer, maybe 43.60, 75 by 80, because it's got to retrace all the way here. And then it's got to pretty much double the move to the downside. I mean, unless the markets really fall apart today, that's all credit spreads is you think it'll go there based on the price patterns. Yeah. So 44 upside, I agree. 44.60. That it's up at the top of the range. That could be sure to start there. Let me just see. 44. 44.60. Could that be right? $5 by 5:30? Yeah. Am I looking at the right thing? 44.60. Anyway, I think down here is a no-brainer. You know, if this keeps going down, get a little further away. 4,500. 4,500. 55 by 70. That's a no-brainer too. And it's got to double it. It's got to more than double in size, and it's got to get through the 200 MA and this cluster of bars. I don't think so. I don't think so. Pick your spot, up or down, or both. Q's selling off a little bit here, starting to roll over. So things were higher. You know, we'll see. Can it retrace back down? It's got the void. Same story. You know, upside move and moving lower. And look, you got, you know, it's at support, but geez, yeah, it's stabilizing there. Maybe it pops up a little bit. How much higher can the NASDAQ 100 go? I mean, that looks like a perfect scenario. Not, yeah, maybe, I don't know about in our lifetime, McGraw, but I suppose that's possible. But anyway, this looks like the perfect scenario for this to roll back down again. But, you know, so far, bar by bar, sideways. Dow, we talked about the head and shoulders pattern. Got pretty deep into the red bar there, but we got a retest pattern, and this isn't breaking down just yet. So it does have the void. We'll see if that can get going or whether it holds up there. A pretty good day yesterday, but just chopping around. You know, markets, you know, one day is like, you know, 1999, and next day could be 1929. Just the way it is right now. Bitcoin, you know, wide range bar, stabilizing. So we really don't have patterns here that are like, okay, this is, you know, really something special. right, for a better word. Oil coming up to a little resistance, that, up at resistance, maybe needs to consolidate a bit, turning back in. Gold should go higher. Looks good. And Raul's telling me ATI. Yeah, big bar showing relative strength. It does look good. TBT, a little extended there. Looks like it'll go higher. Where's the VIX? Kind of, we got most of these patterns are kind of like which way you're going to go today. Transports, another one that's down a lot and popping up there a little bit. X, it's kind of doing nothing. Big disappointment, chopping around, doing nothing. That got an upgrade yesterday, but may as well just set an alert there if it does take out those highs. Or not. And same thing, not much to really go on here other than to just see which way today goes. And zero DTE for credit spreads. Dan will probably have a few ideas, but the usual suspects. Bernie Madoff died on April 14th. Maybe just before tax day. That's interesting. I didn't know that. All right, Dan, I didn't have much to say today. Things are pretty much chopping around sideways here day to day, and we'll just see which way the markets want to take direction here.
Hey, good morning. Happy DTE day. Yeah, and happy Easter and Passover to all. So let's take a look at some earnings, gappers. All our opens are fine. We have a couple of put spreads expiring today. We've been playing in those transport stocks too. We have FedEx, UNP. Look fine. We did NVIDIA yesterday, the CSX. Greg just looked at. We should look at a put spread. So these are doing their job. This EXTN we bought as a core, daily, weekly, monthly. Beautiful, beautiful alignment. It's it's holding well here. Concept of ours, hold the upper 50%. Red bar ignored. Higher closing high and lows. Closing, it looks great to add. Yeah, let's say ATI, all we're talking about. I like that. It trades a little whippy, but we'll see what it does today. But that looks like a great idea for Monday over today's high. Obviously, the markets are closed tomorrow, which is why this is zero DTE day. STX, I got a downgrade. Wow, that's getting hit. Relative weakness, been in a downtrend, under all the moving averages. This Varu has been on a tear lately. Looks like a day trade toy. This block I see gapping up. I had this as a long watch. It's a Bitcoin ETF, bullish engulfing on all this major support. I actually posted it as a put spread idea. Let me give it to you. Unfortunately, they don't have weeklies, but still a trade. Do 29s, stop under 29 and let it rip. Teton here, yesterday's high. Just keep an eye on it for put spread. Spot I don't know if that tail is real or not. I have to go to a smaller time frame. Nah, that's not real. If it was real, I would like it so much better because then it's a continuation topping tail. And then you short yesterday's low. This thing's getting whacked on earnings, I think. CMBM, but the gap's too big for me. Eric, 888. That could maybe be a 30-minute low day trade. That looks lower. It's rolled over, bearish gap. Sell setup weekly. Oh, the big old talk of the morning. I forgot. Twitter. You know, Musk is at it again, tweeting, I'll buy the whole company now. And there was, you know, there's now a chorus of people saying the same thing I've been saying for years. Like, you know, is this guy just, you know, you never know what he's doing. You know, is he just playing with people? You know, so why would you come out and say final and best offer? And is he really serious? Can he get financing? You know, everyone's just scratching their head. Like, what is this guy up to? But you know, I'm curious. Let's you know, the buyout offer they said was 54 and change. I'm curious if we could get any juice for selling the 60s calls spread. Nicholas, how to manage it. Well, Nicholas, let me continue with my stuff here. If you we just keep that question, we'll come back to it when we have more time. Unless you have a specific stock of interest you want me to look at. Okay, I think Greg's answering you. All right, good. Baba, you know, more China news, whatever, causing a gap down. That's a dangerous sector to trade. China. Rent had earnings. That's a big old mess. No interest. Costco. They did something, same store sales or something or other. This is the trade review we just sent out on Wednesday. Right, the concept of relative strength on Costco. A couple banks here. Ally started off stronger, now it's weaker. So that's no interest. UNH gapping down and a strong uptrend. We'll come back to you. STT 84, 30-minute high, put spread idea. RAD gapping up $1, gapping up to resist bullish gap, but no good price wood. PNC, this is a call spread idea. I can put that in this middle window, that's bearish. Okay, JP Morgan from yesterday, we were watching this as a late day breakdown, and it just didn't want to go. But let's still watch that. That's still a bearish consolidation and bottom half of yesterday's range. 111. You know, we don't short things down multiple bars. I don't have a bias on this. I have no idea. USB gapping a 52. Just gapping in a downtrend, maybe 30-minute high if you can do a 0 DTE put spread. Goldman I like for a put spread. I'm going to put that in a window. AB Delta says about a call spread. ABBB. Yeah, the problem is The problem is the following. It's down multiple bars. We short call spreads around major resistance and pivots and congestion. And this is a fluid move. So you missed your ideal entry because your stop has to be up here. Unless you're just doing a 0 or 1 DTE, and then it could be over this ugly red bar's high. But yeah, I mean, that's sliced through support. You just have a bad entry, and I don't think you're going to get a good premium that far away. It's the problem. Morgan, 85 and change. It's not a tier 1. I don't know. We'll come back to you in 30 minutes. Citigroup, 50-70, same. It started off stronger at 52. See if it, I mean, look on the daily here. If it were at 52, I'm a lot more bullish than I am right here at 50.60. So I need to come back to you. Wells Fargo, 40. Wow, that's an ugly gap. All right, but it's at this prior low. So the best bank I've seen so far is Goldman for a put spread over 10-15 minute high or whatever. CLM, bearish gap. I don't like the way it trades. Sonder, Greg mentioned this one yesterday as a Climo. I can set an alarm at 21:92. Lulu was on our late day breakout list yesterday. Look at that beautiful 15-minute chart. As long as it holds the afternoon pivot, it's still fine. I'll put it in the window. DWAC, so this is the Trump stock that's been getting hit with the Musk Twitter news. This was on my list to sell a put spread over the high. And now it's gapping under yesterday's low, so it's still damaged. Upwork, nice. This is a bear 1, 2, 3 if it takes out the lows. JetBlue was on my list yesterday. A nice gap for major support. 30-minute high. Day trade looks fine. Transports. Let's see if we can do any 0 DTEs. GME, I looked yesterday, but there's no juice. Block I mentioned. So Tesla's down on the news of Musk wanting to buy Twitter. So let's I'm always watching the fangs, but I don't know which way this thing's going to break. This actually looks like a McGraw. As of this point in time, it looks like a condor. But let's watch it the first 15 minutes and see which way it wants to break. Microsoft, there you go. That's very strong here pre-market. Both for a day trade and put spread. That's the best looking thing I've seen. You had a deep retracement, support, bullish pre-market here. All right, let's 10-minute high. Here's a pivot. Maybe we can even do 285s. I really prefer 282.50 better. But that looks really good. We just wait a few minutes and then check the premiums. Facebook's, I can go either way. Amazon, there you go. There's a 0 DTE. Hey, John, I think we even said yesterday if it closed strong, we liked it. I totally forgot to look at it into the close. That looks great. I like that even better than Microsoft because he's juicy too. Microsoft's actually not as juicy. So let's watch my tier ones for 0DTE so far is Goldman, Microsoft, Amazon. Hey, John. So Amazon 3020 would be ideal. And it closed at 174 by 250. Yeah, Amazon's usually spready, but they also open up when the market closes. So we'll come back to that. Apple, I looked yesterday and there just wasn't enough juice, but 168 and below would be fine. And then Google, you notice how this bar is not as deep, but 30-minute high, it's still in an area of support. So that's a candidate. So that Google's tier 2, 30-minute high. The other ones are my tier 1s. All right, perfect. So that I am now done with my review. Nicholas, Lulu. It made a new high and failed. Where did it make a new high and fail? Oh, 15-minute chart. Well, yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. We got a new day. It was, selling into the close, profit taking. Today's a new day. And I said, if it can go sideways and stay above this pivot, then it's still fine. So I didn't say buy 5-minute high or anything like that. I said, I'm gonna keep an eye on it. And as long as it can hold a tight consolidation, then we can buy yesterday's high.